Well, it's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, recently there was reports that the WBA ordered Gilberto Ramirez and Dmitry Bivol to fight each other. As many of us know, if you've been following these videos on my channel, Zurdo has been the WBA Mandatory since like last December when he beat Yuniesi Gonzalez, right? So he's trying to get this fight with Bivol because the knock we always hear about Zurdo is that Zurdo doesn't fight. He hasn't fought any big names, right? So now this would be his chance to fight a big name and really validate himself in the eyes of many boxing fans and people that follow this light heavyweight division, you know, because we always hear about Bivol and Better Be at being the best, but we never really hear Zurdo giving any consideration, you know, and he's been wanting this fight for a long time. Both of these guys have a history. You know, Bivol said Zurdo didn't want the fight. Zurdo said that Bivol didn't want the fight. So now we're in a place now as far as with the politics of boxing to where the fight makes sense. I don't think the timing could have been better for this fight to happen because, you know, Zurdo is the biggest Mexican name in Bivol's weight class. Bivol is coming off a win against the biggest Mexican fighter in the sport today and the biggest name in boxing, Canelo Alvarez, you know. So with that being said, you put this fight like in Southern California, it's going to sell, and it's going to sell really well. So it's been ordered. They have a certain amount of time to make it, you know, negotiate and work things out and come to an agreement before the fight goes to purse bid, right? But of course, we can't just have nice things in boxing, especially in this light heavyweight division where we really desperately need an undisputed champion in this weight class. I would say in this weight class, out of all the weight classes, we need an undisputed champion because we have a lot of really, really good fighters teetering on the cusp of legitimate greatness and superstardom. But you can't really get that in this division unless all the belts unify and they all fight each other, right? And there's a lot of great fights to be made in this division. So Zurdo's #1 ranked contender in the WBA. He's the WBA Mandatory. The WBA is called for the Mandatory, but Eddie Hearn is trying to block the fight by making you know, Joshua Buatsi, who's also his fighter, who's ranked #2 in the WBA rankings, fight Bivol. He's gonna go to the WBA and trying to get what is it? I think it's called an exemption or something like that to try, you know, get his fight of the fight. So it's ridiculous. And even if Eddie Hearn really wanted Buatsi to fight Bivol, okay, he should just go to the WBA and request that they make Zurdo versus Buatsi a final eliminator, and then the ball be on the WBA's court to make the fight happen between Buatsi and Zurdo to determine who will fight Bivol next. But instead of doing that, he wants to bypass Zurdo and all the hard work he's done to get into that position over the last 3 years, and, you know, just give Buatsi the fight because, you know, he's got Bivol on the zone, he's got Buatsi with Matchroom, so why not, you know? No, fuck that, all right? Excuse my language, or I'm really trying to cut down on the cursing, but sometimes it's necessary. Fuck that. Zurdo versus Bivol is one of the best fights in boxing. You know, I even made a video in December saying it was the best fight in boxing. I really think highly of this fight. This is one of the top fights. It's the top fight I want to see in boxing. So I like Buatsi. I rate him. I would like to see him get a shot at some point. But that point ain't right now. Everyone, listen, the good book says that there's a time and place for everything in life. There's a time to love and there's a time to hate. There's a time to laugh and there's a time to cry, all right? His time ain't now. His time ain't now, Eddie. So, yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. You know, I want to see this fight because, you know, we know Bivol is great. Bivol is one of the longest reigning champions in boxing. He's beaten Canelo and Joe Smith and Craig Richards and all kinds of good fights. Sullivan Barrera. All kinds of really good fighters in his weight class. But albeit Canelo was a former light heavyweight champion, and albeit Canelo is a pound-for-pound top 10 fighter, Canelo Alvarez is not like a natural 175-pounder. He's a smaller fighter who came up to light heavyweight, okay? As to where now, Zurdo is a guy that not only is he a full-fledged light heavyweight, this guy is a gargoyle of a man for light heavyweight. This guy rehydrates at 200-plus pounds on fight night. You know, he's a heavyweight on fight night. And that's bigger than most light heavyweights. Bivol only rehydrated to like 185 or 186, something like that, when he fought Canelo. So, you know, if these two guys do fight, will there be a rehydration clause in place? I think if you want the most, if you want Bivol to not, you know, have to deal with a 200-plus pound man on the night barreling down on top of him, I would suggest a rehydration clause. But listen, if they don't put the rehydration clause in, to me, that makes the fight even more interesting, because then could Dmitry Bivol legitimately handle a guy who's 205, 206 pounds just barreling down on top of him, trying to, you know, fight that old school seek and destroy, very intelligent Mexican pressure style? You know, to me, it's a great style clash. You got a southpaw, intelligent Mexican pressure fighter taking on one of the most technically proficient fighters in the sport today in Bivol. And you got to think, after he just beat Canelo Alvarez, that mentally a guy like him doesn't get happy with that. A guy like him would probably level up and triple up in confidence. So that makes him even more dangerous, you know. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Bivol and Zurdo has been ordered by the WBA. Eddie Hearn trying his shenanigans to make Joshua Buatsi jump the line and fight Bivol. Hopefully the WBA says no, fuck that. We need this fight now, because this is one of them. This is one of the few times in boxing. I know sometimes what's best for boxing the sport and boxing the business are not the same things oftentimes. But this is one of those rare scenarios where what's best for the boxing the sport and boxing the business is actually the exact same thing. So for that reason, and for that reason alone, the WBA should not allow Joshua Buatsi to fight Bivol next. Joshua Buatsi should have to continue to fight his way up the rankings and get his shot either with them or another governing body. But that's the news. You guys let me know what you think in the comments down below. And let me know who you guys favorite down below and why. And, you know, like I say in every single one of these videos, you guys can love me or you can hate me. But I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on True School Sports, the home of boxing. If you made it this far, do me a favor and do yourself a damn favor. Hit that subscribe button and surely you will not be disappointed. You know, True School Sports bringing you the latest and greatest, the untouchable, you know, boxing content, interviews, news videos, breakdowns, live fight reaction extravaganza. We've got a great community of people here, boxing fans all over the world, from America to the UK to Australia, and on and on and on. So join the empire today. Hit that subscribe button. Take care and God.